You got this piece of raw material, and if you have just like the right imagination and the skills to program it, you could turn it into anything.
Technology has changed the face of manufacturing.
When we talk about manufacturing, that's a really, really big window, right? So about 27% of our gross domestic product is considered manufacturing.
So the typical factory of today looks more like a laboratory than a factory.
The skill sets that they're learning at Lincoln Tech, gaining that hands-on experience with the machines, is definitely a step up from some of the other local programs that are just getting up and running.
Welcome to the official podcast of Lincoln Tech. In this episode, we'll be looking at the Computerized Manufacturing Program. We'll find out what you can expect to learn and what kind of jobs are out there. We'll also find out just what the heck CNC machining actually means. But first, Lincoln Tech's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. And Lincoln's promise to our students is simple. We will work tirelessly to help you succeed on the road to new career opportunities. Now, let's dive into some details about the program.
Yeah, so my name's Rick Calverley. I'm the Director of Education at our Grand Prairie, Texas campus. I've been here about 9 years, and I'm also the CNC manufacturing specialist.
My name is Jeff Hager. I'm a career machinist and prototyper. My current employer is the Lincoln Tech School as the instructor for the AMR program, which is our Advanced Manufacturing and Robotics program.
Rick and Jeff are the guys who can fill us in on all we need to know about this industry.
Yeah, I think when we think of factory work, we think of stuff, that's probably from the Industrial Revolution, right? Where it's old, dark, people working really hard and long hours. The industry's changed so much, especially in the CNC world, with the inclusion of all the technology we have now on computers. Today's manufacturing is just completely different. So now we're running all computer-controlled machines. The shop floors are, normally painted or polyurethane, and the machines are neat and clean. The shops are air-conditioned.
Technology has changed the face of manufacturing. All right, so when we think of factory work and we see people at work doing repetitious tasks, moving items back and forth, and kind of a mundane existence, there's very little of that left in manufacturing today. All right, that has been replaced by automation and sophisticated equipment to do those repetitive tasks and to provide a steady flow for manufactured product. So what that has changed in the sense of the manufacturing careers is we see a lot more that are technical related. All right, we see a lot more where we used to have mechanics and welders and things of that sort, machinists. Now we're seeing automation technicians and engineering technicians filling a lot of those positions. All right, so there's still line mechanics and there's still machinists and millwrights and whatnot involved in manufacturing, but even those occupations have become a lot more technical. So the typical factory of today looks more like a laboratory than a factory.
CNC stands for Computerized Numerical Control, but what exactly does that mean?
When you start talking about CNC manufacturing, we're talking about something that's a little more specialized, a little more high tech. CNC includes everything from laser engravers, CNC routers, CNC plasma cutters. The ones that we probably see and think of the most are CNC milling machines and CNC lathes. In Texas alone, they estimate that about 11,000 jobs will be created over the next 5 years just in Texas for CNC manufacturing. And nationally, they're predicting about 165,000 jobs. So the job market is very strong. In 2007 in the industry, we saw we saw a real move to kind of offshore a lot of this work to Asia, and that really failed. And all that work has came back. And unfortunately, in the meantime of that, a lot of the employees, a lot of the technicians in the field have left the field. So there's a real gap right now for skilled labor in the field, and I think that's what Lincoln's doing. We're trying to train that next generation and fill that gap that employers have to create their products.
Okay, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. What kind of things will students learn in the Computerized Manufacturing Program at Lincoln Tech?
So our students in the beginning, they're going to learn some of the basic math, which is all pretty simple. We all have computers and calculators and in phones now. We make the math part of it very easy. They're going to also learn how to measure parts, all the different tools that we use to accurately and precision measure. Pretty common in our field that we're measuring parts less than 1/1000th of an inch. So we have to be very accurate. So they're going to learn how to measure, how to read blueprints.
Since manufacturing or advanced manufacturing it's a broad ranging subject, all right? There's so many different items to manufacture. The processes used in each are going to vary. So you could be manufacturing anything from an automobile to a tiny little medical device of some sort. Electronics and pharmaceuticals, they all have a different set of requirements. So the program at Lincoln Tech is designed to build foundational skills, all right, skills that can be utilized in any of those industries.
Okay, Jeff, what do you mean by foundational skills?
All right, so we're concentrating on the blueprint reading, all right, to understand the technical drawings and the requirements. We're concentrating on precision measurement to be able to work to these tolerances. We're doing machining, all right, which is used in virtually every industry. We're looking at manual machining. We touch on that, but the biggest focus is on computerized numerical control, CNC machining.
So we start to teach our students how to write programs, how to set up all the tools that would be required to machine that part, how to set up the machine accurately, and how to just do that on a consistent basis.
That's where we focus a lot of time and energy, because that's the technology that's utilized for most manufacturing processes. That's what's cutting the metal, and that's what's used in metals and plastics and ceramics for cutting, for bending, stamping. All sorts of different technologies are using this CNC programming. So we spend a lot of our course time learning what the computer codes are, writing that coding, and also using computer software to develop CNC machining.
The program ensures that you know the basics, but that's not all. Tell us about it, Rick.
And one of the things that Lincoln does that most other schools won't try to do is we get into what we call multi-axis programming. And that's some of the real high-end, very complicated machining, which is really where the entire industry is going. So I think it's a really comprehensive program. We cover all of the topics to what a student will be required to do right when they get on the job on the first day. So they're all real skills that are required to go right to work today on those fields.
How can studying at Lincoln Tech prepare you to go right to work today? The hands-on training is done on the very same machines that are used in the industry.
We're an H-Tech partner school, so we get a lot of support from the Haas Corporation. All right, and Haas is the largest manufacturer of CNC machine tools in the United States. So we have a fully equipped shop. We have CNC milling machines, we have CNC lathes, we have a 5-axis CNC milling machine, which is among the most capable you will find. We have a multi-axis lathe that combines turning and milling capabilities in one machine. All right, and these are all Haas machines that you would find in a typical manufacturing environment. These are not educational model machines. These are industrial machines, and that's what the students are spending their time on. That's what they're doing their hands-on practicals on those machines, and we have a lot of it. There's a lot of equipment, and we spend a lot of time in the shop on those machines.
I didn't mention this before, but our classes are basically set up to be about 66% in the shop, actually on the machines. So they're very well versed on how the machines work, and they're really skilled to go right into a machine shop on day one and start running the machines.
Training at Lincoln Tech will give you the ability to go right to work. Let's talk to someone who did that very thing.
Well, my name is Amanda Swift. I'm a 29-year-old girl that lives in Prospect, Connecticut, and I enrolled at Lincoln Tech for the manufacturing course back in 2021 of February, and I just graduated February 2022. So the reasoning why I chose Lincoln Tech is because I know it's very hands-on. You're thrown in the field there. You're told, hey, work on this machine, make these offsets here. We're going to write a program today. You're going to work on Mastercam. You really get the work experience there. Just everything's hands-on. That's what I really like about Lincoln Tech. You're not always, reading a book. You could read a book, but it's easier when you actually do what you're being taught, and feel like you're in the work environment there.
Okay, Amanda, what's your job now that you've graduated from Lincoln Tech?
Now that I've graduated from Lincoln Tech, I actually got moved into a micro machining department. I get to work with a 7-axis Willman machine, and I'm working on small medical devices with such tight tolerances, and not everyone gets the opportunity to do that. Micro machining's, very tough. I don't see it around really anywhere much. Most places, they work in small tolerances like plus or minus 5,000s. I'm working with plus or minus 5/10ths. Just the smallest little movement can affect this piece, good or bad. And it's been a really great opportunity. I've grown so much there. Everyone is, taken me more seriously since I've been there. And I've just grown a lot since Lincoln Tech.
She makes small medical devices, and that's really cool. You know what else is really cool? Working with NASA.
Yeah, we have a partnership with NASA to produce a product for NASA's use on the space station. So at Lincoln Tech, we're using that partnership and that program to provide a customer base for our automation classes. So we actually have a fully functional machining cell, all right, to produce handrail components for the International Space Station. So we're working with NASA. NASA supplies our materials. We're working to their specifications and producing handrail components to be used in the space station. And we're doing it with a fully automated work cell, which means there's a robot to tend it, and it's using automated in-process inspection, automated work holding, and we can actually run batches of parts with no operator intervention.
All of this information is great, and the Computerized Manufacturing Program sounds intriguing, but the reality is that you need a job and a career. Can this program really provide that?
So my name is Amanda Cortez. I'm the HR generalist over here at Whippany Actuation Systems. I am in charge of the strategic sourcing and recruiting efforts that we have here at Whippany Actuation Systems to fill our manufacturing positions, especially those in the CNC machine operator type roles. So there's been a constant shortage of labor when it comes to the CNC manufacturing area. So in the machine shop, manufacturing period, a lot of the companies that used to be in the state of New Jersey, even just 20 years ago, there were manufacturing sites on every corner in the state of New Jersey, right? And over the course of time, companies have been moving off-site to lower cost areas within not only the United States, but internationally as well. So having the individuals who have hands-on experience within this industry or within manufacturing as a whole has been difficult to maintain.
Keep in mind that she's speaking as a real-life hiring manager, so it begs the question, do Lincoln Tech graduates have a leg up on the competition?
Absolutely. So I would say that the skill sets that they're learning at Lincoln Tech, gaining that hands-on experience with the machines, again, the fundamentals is that they're learning with the programming and just the entry-level stuff is definitely a step up from some of the other local programs that are just getting up and running. Lincoln Tech's been providing this teaching program and platform for years now, so they're a little bit ahead of the game in terms of a competition for the other schools that are offering similar coursework and training opportunities. In our machine shop alone, we have machine operators that are a little generic. They do a lot of metal cutting and they do a lot of deburring and things of that nature. But we have, CNC turning specialists, CNC milling specialists, we have grinders, we have gear cutters. There's so many different facets of just machine operators out there that it's incredible how many different avenues people have available to them. The growth opportunity for somebody with a machine and manufacturing background is never ending if you really want to break it down. Somebody who starts off as an entry-level machine operator could eventually one day grow to become a manufacturing engineer if they have the ambition to do so. We constantly talk about the fact that we would love to have someone promoted into a manufacturing engineering role who has that machine shop background, because it just helps you be more successful in that kind of a position, right? Because you already understand how those machines work and you're able to take some of the skill sets that you learn in your mechanical engineering courses and apply them to your fundamental knowledge of how CNC machining is working and how you can apply that to the actual manufacturing of the parts that we're building here in the building.
We know that training at Lincoln Tech will provide you with the skills you need to go and hit the ground running. And we know that there are a lot of jobs and careers out there for you. But are you going to be on your own and hunting down one of those jobs? Not at all. Lincoln Tech's Career Services team is here to help.
Yeah, so that was one of the things that really attracted me to Lincoln when I was working in a machine shop making parts for the aerospace field. And when Lincoln called me, I did a little research on them. I was so impressed with the way they did their career services. It is really the main focus. In fact, I always say here, our job is not really to graduate students, but it's to put students in their career field of their choice. I went to a tech school when I was younger. I know when I graduated, they just handed me a piece of paper with a list of phone numbers and said, good luck. Our career services team they're interacting with our students in their very first class, the very first month they're here. They're going in and they're talking about their online profiles. How are they represented, in the digital world? They talk to them about doing resumes. They talk to them about doing job interviews. We do mock interviews with our students. We help them build resumes. They are actively searching jobs.
All right. So some large corporations, it's very difficult to get a face-to-face meeting with anyone. All right. You're going to come up against email a resume here and hope somebody sees it, or be put into a pool of applicants. But what Career Services at Lincoln Tech offers is they have a direct connection to these hiring managers, so they can put your resume right on that manager's desk, all right, and in most cases set up an interview. So it really expedites the process of landing a job.
They ask you at first, do you plan on getting a job before you're done with school? Where do you see yourself? Are there any, jobs you're looking at, companies? And they'll really try to help you get in there. We had a classmate who really wanted to be at Hanwha, and, it took a little pushing and nudging, but before the end of the course, he definitely got in there. They're willing to help you. Even to this day, I get phone calls from Career Services. Hey, are you happy where you're at? Do you want to grow? Oh, we see this, place might suit you. If you're really dedicated to wanting to get a good job and really pushing, they're going to represent you as long as you had good attendance and your grades were good and you really care about your trade.
Are you still on the fence?
The work itself is nice. I've got friends that worked into their 70s as machinists, because it's not strenuous or back-breaking work. It's along the lines of laboratory work or kitchen work. It's shop work, but it's usually in a nice environment. A lot of times it's very precise, very precision work, so everything's clean and orderly. That's what makes it efficient. So it's not a bad way to make a living, and there is a lot of opportunity, and the opportunity is varied. Everything from jewelry to electronics to sporting goods and aircraft, spacecraft, high-performance cars. Everything has a component that's machined involved with that.
CNC it's a different industry than any other industry, because if you think about it, you can have an idea, right? I want to make a part for my car. I want to make something to make my life easier. It could be anything. And I can take that idea and I can actually draw it and see a three-dimensional model of it. And then I can actually go get a piece of material and I can make that. And within, maybe an hour or a couple hours, I can have that piece right in my hand. So it's one of those really strange fields that it's not just about the idea or the process, but you get to see this all the way through to actually having something in your hand that you thought about. So it really is a different field. We're probably the only field that if we have an idea to make a machine, guess what? We build our own machines if we need to. So if you really like being challenged, you really like stuff to be diversified, if you like to be creative in the way you do things, you instantly see results with the work that you do and the thoughts that you have. So those are the kind of people I think that when I talk to them, they really get excited about CNC and all the opportunities that they have in the field.
This is really cool stuff to me. And if you were saying, hey, I just took this random block of aluminum and I made it into this awesome thing, that would persuade me. Like, oh, how do I get involved? We had a student who's an artist, and he wasn't sure about the manufacturing field as well. Well, one day he drew my teacher right on the whiteboard. And my teacher the next day had a student in the morning class take a photo of it, convert it to a Mastercam file, and he made a whole plaque with his face all over it. And he's showing all the classmates, like, look at this. You could just draw a photo on a piece of paper, and all of a sudden, boom, you got this awesome aluminum portrait of yourself, You show them all the cool possibilities you could do. It's not just pushing a button and go. And, if they're really interested in it, then they'll do it, But, it's up to them, I never thought I'd see myself in manufacturing, and I love it.
CNC manufacturing is a well-paid field. I can say this: I have a wife and 5 kids, and my wife has been able to stay home and raise our kids the entire time I was in the CNC field. It's been a lucrative business for us. I also I've lived in 5 different states myself. In every state I've been able to go to and find a job right away. There's tons of jobs all over the country. It really is a kind of a next level job. So I don't think students that come out here are going to have any problems being able to support themselves in any way.
Does the Computerized Manufacturing Program at Lincoln Tech sound like a fit for you? Find out more information, schedule a campus visit, and talk to instructors or the Career Services team online at lincolntech.edu.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. Darren Sutherland, Executive Producer. Jeremy Powell, Creative Director. Jacob Sutherland, Director. Producers Jason Gentarola and Matt Golden. And Kezia May, Copywriter. All rights reserved.